In fact, I think we're going to start now. So I want to welcome everybody to, thank you for coming, and let's begin. The hurricane of 1938. Not too many people remember that. I'm sure none of you remember it here, but I can tell you one thing. My mother used to tell stories of it. You know, she was brought up in New Bedford, and New Bedford was hard. And the hurricane started about 4 in the afternoon, and she was home with her siblings. She had 3 young children she was watching. She was 14 years old. Her parents were up in Manville, Rhode Island, which is, if you know, in northern Rhode Island, it's almost near Woonsocket. So 1938, I mean, the cars were slow back then, and no major highways either. So my mom would tell the story of how she'd go outside and, oh, the wind and everything, the dress was blowing, and she was having a heck of a time. And all of a sudden, this guy yells out, "Hey, get in the house, we're having a bad storm." No sooner did he say that, a piece of slate from the roof fell and crashed right next to her. She goes, "You know, I think you better get in the house." So she got in the house. And the other thing she told me was she had heard a story of a woman that was sitting in her car reading a book. And all of a sudden a tree crashed into the car and she died. You know what book she was reading? It was a very, very popular book in 1938, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, Gone with the Wind. Yep. I know it, huh? Wow. So anyways, that's my little story, but I'm sure other people have other stories too. First of all, what I like to do is I like to mention the Franklin Register and the Franklin Sentinel. These are our town's newspapers where I get a lot of information from. Stanley Chilston collection, we'll see a lot of his films. And I've got personal pictures and postcards that I've accumulated over the years that you'll see as well. Yes, that place right there. Fabulous place, a lot of good things to see. So I highly recommend it. So what exactly is a hurricane? I mean, what makes a hurricane? Well, when a storm reaches 69 miles an hour in strength, it becomes a tropical storm. And when the storm reaches 75 miles an hour, it's a hurricane. And as we know, a hurricane is a storm that goes in a circular fashion, counterclockwise. And in the middle is the eye of the hurricane. I'm not sure, I got this off the internet. I'm not sure what storm this is, but a storm that size, it's probably Katrina that hit and really wiped out New Orleans. I'm just guessing, but that's what a hurricane does. Now the hurricane, the side on the western side is the weaker side. The side on the other side, the eastern side, is the more powerful side. And then hurricanes travel too. So you've got not only the winds, but you've got the hurricane traveling. So when did they start naming hurricanes? Well, I mean, we call this the 1938 hurricane. Okay, they didn't name it anything. So beginning in 1950, they started calling them Abel, Baker, and Charlie. But then in 53, they started naming them after women. And how many people knew that Alice was the first woman's name to be used? Oh, I thought that was kind of interesting. Beginning in 79, the storms were named after men. And Bob was the first man's name to be used. And then what they would do is the same thing they do today. One year they'll start with A being the woman, and B, men, woman, man, woman. The following year will be man, woman, man, woman. And apparently they've got 21 names on each of the list of names. They've got a bunch of lists of names apparently. And they recycle the lists every 6 years. Some names have been retired. Katrina is definitely one that was retired. Yeah, I know. We don't need another one of those. There's a couple others I'm not sure of, but anyway. Yeah, maybe Sandy was one. I'm sorry, Sandy. So if the list of names in a given year is exhausted, then they go to the Greek alphabet. So alpha, beta, gamma, is it gamma? I think, yeah. They use the Greek alphabet. So, and I think it was 1 year where they literally had to go to that. So, yeah. So the 1938 hurricane. Now, the storm started off the coast of Africa, and it went across the Atlantic, and then it took a right turn and headed straight for New England. Went up the East Coast, and when it got to Long Island, that's where it made land for the first time. And it passed over Long Island into Connecticut and up into Vermont. Now here are the things that made the 1938 hurricane so dangerous. Number one, it had sustained winds of 120 miles an hour. and it was moving at 45 miles an hour. So the winds not only were 120 miles an hour on the eastern side of the storm, which we were at, 45 miles an hour, so do the arithmetic. 165-mile-an-hour winds hit Franklin. And where it was traveling at 45 miles an hour, it hit Franklin at 4 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, it was done. But during that 2 hours, unbelievable. And Franklin was on the eastern side of the storm, as I mentioned. September 21st was the autumnal equinox, which means both the sun and the moon were aligned with the earth. And that caused double gravitational pull in high tides. I mean, what do we associate with a hurricane? High tides, the surge, the storm surge, and there was a full moon. So, very little warning. I mean, no transistor radios on the beach. I guess if you were at the beach, they said that if you were in the water, you noticed the water was starting to get very warm all of a sudden. It's like, wow, this is strange. And but we didn't have communication like we do today, no radios or anything like that. There were some radio stations that did say, yeah, there's a storm coming, and I figure, oh, okay, storm's coming, big deal. What a storm, though. Now, Dean Hall on Main Street, here's what it looked like before the storm. You know, this is the way it was built back in 1873. And you can see they've got a tower. And on the other side, you've got the tiny little cupolas, I guess you'd call them. That was part of the original design. But just 1 month before the storm hit, in August, they decided that little cross way up on top, well, I say little cross, it was a big cross, and it weighed about 1,200 pounds. They were getting concerned that if that thing was to topple over, it could, we could do a lot of damage, whatever. So they said, we really should take that cross down. So in August, they took it down. And you're going to see some Chilson films of them taking it down. So be advised that if you've got vertigo or anything, you're going to be watching these movies, you're probably going to, those guys are up there and they're walking around with no life belts. It'll speak for itself, let me tell you. So now Dean Hall, after the storm, the tower was gone, just blew over. And the trees blown over, and you're going to see the films, it's unbelievable. Now the Baptist church before the storm, this was right across the street from the Ray School, down near the corner of School Street and Union Street. The Curtis Padalano building is there today, although that's not the Padalano building anymore. I think it's the Dean Administrative Office. But originally it was built as a Jehovah's Witness building. But anyway, that's where the Baptist church was. And the steeple toppled over into the building. In fact, Mary Olson, I love to tell the story. Mary Olson, the former head of the Historical Commission, loves to tell the story of how her mother, one of her relatives, maybe it was her mother, grandmother, was looking out the back window of her house. They lived right over here on West Central Street, and she had a clear view of the church. And they said the steeple was going like this. And they said, get away from there, that's a bad storm. They went back a few minutes later, the steeple was gone. So she missed seeing it topple in. But anyway, it toppled into the Baptist church and did heavy damage. So then after the storm, here's what it looked like. Now, if you look very carefully to see the middle windows, you can see the building is kind of bowed out a little bit. So they did repair the building, though. In fact, Chilson went back and took movies afterwards, and they were putting a new roof on the building. And I think they made it a VFW hall, after that. And then in 1948 or so, it had a big fire. And then they decided to just do away with it, so that's when they got rid of it. But anyway, that was the Baptist church. And then, by the way, the Federated Church, at this time, they had a minister, but no church. The Congregational Church up on Main Street had a church, but no minister. So they said, hey, it's a match made in heaven. Let's put the two churches together, and the Federated Church was formed. Damage around town. This is, and these are from the film, so we're going to see these in a few minutes. This, I believe, is it's either School Street or Main Street. I'm not sure, but the point is, there's the kind of damage that you can see in it. And you're going to see everybody got out to help out. It wasn't like they waited for the tree crew, the tree companies to come in. They didn't have chainsaws back then. Everybody was up there with hand saws, just cutting trees. And I mean, everybody was, if you were old enough to hold a saw, you were out there cutting branches. And You even see people, guys out there with neckties on where, it's like, wow. And by the way, as we look at the films and the pictures, if you see a house that looks familiar, tell me and I'll stop the film because I want to know exactly where certain houses were. I watch these films all the time and I'm wondering, I wonder where that house is. If you see a house or even a person that say, hey, I know who that is or where that house is, let me know, okay? Trees uprooted. Imagine the force of the wind that could push that tree over. Although, think about it. Back then, the leaves were still on the tree, so that probably helped to push the tree over. Maybe if the leaves weren't there, that wouldn't have been a problem, but down on East Central Street, where Horace Mann Plaza is, was a racetrack, a horse racetrack. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a racetrack there. In fact, a thoroughbred racetrack there. Oh, yeah. And there was the Indian Rock Farm. Well, after the storm, the roof blown right off. They say that the sound of it, the sound of 120, 130 mile an hour winds, it was deafening. I mean, you can only imagine. I mean, like something like a train going down the tracks. They said it was unbelievable. It was scary. I mean, think about it. Yeah, that's definitely Emmons Street right there. This house is on Dean Avenue, and it's right next door to Stanley Chilson's house. It's about 3/4 of the way down Dean Avenue on the left. The tree toppled over, and you're going to see them trying to take the root of the tree out in a few minutes on the film. And today, that's the house. Yeah, and the house next to it is Stanley Chilson's house. Yeah, the one on the right. Her name is Janet Schwar. Schwar, I think her last name is. She lives there now. In fact, she had some pictures that she said, hey, I've got some pictures that you'd like to see. So I actually visited her in the house. I got to be in Stanley Chilson's house. And that was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, no kidding. Huh. Yeah, he's my cousin. Huh. I'll be done. She worked with Bob Landry. Now the films. Okay. Here's where I have to go like so. And I've got 3 little mini PowerPoint presentations with the films in them to make it a lot easier to show you. So give me 1 minute. Okay. That one. Removing the cross. Now here's where they were removing the cross from the tower. So brace yourselves. You're gonna love this. It's unbelievable. Oh, no, their seatbelt should have been on. Look at this. Yeah, well, definitely. Look at no lifelines or anything. In fact, just before this, there was a guy standing on top of the cross, fastening the thing. The guy climbed up there. That's on another film. I didn't want to show you that one. Yeah. Oh my God, huh? And you see that square pole that's there? You're going to see that after the tower got knocked over, part of the pole was still standing. So, but that cross was 1,200 pounds.
So it was hooked to something and you lifted it up?
Yeah, it's like a pulley up there, and then yeah, see the pulley? And then they started bringing it down. I'm not sure if they were trying to bring it down on the inside of the steeple, but they definitely brought it to the outside and down the side, yeah. Well, no, they inside the tower, and then yeah. Huh. Imagine that.
Joe, do you know where that box is now?
That's a good question. I don't, and I've asked Rob Lawson, the professor at Dean, if he knew, and they don't know where the cross went. Now keep in mind, this is before World War II, so if it was made out of metal, it wouldn't have been salvaged for the war effort. So, well, yeah, because it wouldn't have been under the debris from the hurricane because, well, no, it could have been, yeah. I really don't know. Yeah. The tower? I'm not sure. See how they left it like that. So you can see where it's open all in there. And that's how they must have got up in there. They must have climbed up and out that little window. Yeah. All right. Now this is the first of many movies that Chilson took, from 4 to 6 p.m. It was a Wednesday too. Franklin shots after the hurricane. So, again, I don't know whose house this is, and he stayed around Dean Avenue, Hillside Road, because he lived on Dean Avenue. But then he went down by School Street too, and you can see some of the things on School Street. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he was a 16 millimeter. Yeah. Oop.
Still very good quality.
Oh yeah. Whoop. Yeah, this is Hillside Road. Fail Street is probably right here. Yeah, so that's Hillside Road looking toward Pleasant Street. That's probably looking the other direction maybe, but he might have walked down a little further, I'm not sure. But it's Hillside Road, definitely. But look at all the people out. You can see some of the work has already been done to cut the trees and everything. Well, no, this is, yeah, this poles, a lot of the lines were down and everything. Oh, yeah.
You said it was about 2 hours?
2 hours, yep, from 4 to 6. Yeah. Now that guy, I think he's probably turning onto Pleasant Street. So that's probably very close to Pleasant Street right there. Yeah, yeah.
Well, what happens with chemicals stuff?
I know, yeah. It's true, yeah.
Find wood cheap they get.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Dean Academy becomes towerless. Yeah, look at that. All the debris went into the back behind Dean Hall. Look, there's that pole. All gone. See, all the debris. Yeah. Nice one, yeah. Yes, before the hurricane. You can see all the trees toppled over. Some of them they tried to get them right up again. Huh? No, long gone. And that's looking towards Main Street, I think. Oh, there's a library, yeah. Yeah, that's the library, and that's the front of the library. Right here is the 2 Ray houses. That building's still there today, but they did away with the cupola. The Pierce house was next to it. That burned down, and that's where they have a different building there now. But, yeah. Right. Exactly. The one on the corner is still there. Yeah. No, it's not an administrative building. Yeah, that one burnt down. Yeah. Yep. I think that's a Universalist church steeple. I think. I don't think it was the Baptist. Emmons Street. Now, this is where you can see those pictures of Emmons Street. Huh, look at that, huh? And it makes sense he was walking around the neighborhood. I'll tell you what, he went around to different towns too. The town of Rentham, you know, the church right in the town of Rentham, that steeple toppled over. He went over to Medway, that church steeple toppled over. It's like unbelievable. He went through Lake Pearl Park, the trees over there, the cemetery in Rentham. He went all over the place. Yeah, well, Wampum Corner, they had the 53, yes? I think it was a congregational, I think. I think so, yeah, yeah. No, the tornado of 53 is what took out the Wampum Corner, Steve. Yeah.
2 years ago.
Okay, now let's go to part 2. I think we know where that is. Long before the science building.
Signia said he built down there, brick
Yeah.
devoted to classes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It was all full of trees from.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dutch elm disease. That's right. The Dutch elm disease got them.
All that like elm, Dutch elm disease or something like that.
That's right, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Ah, here we go. Baptist Church. There it is. Now, that church was originally built across the street from the library, but in 1872, they moved it down School Street to that location because they built a new Universalist church in front of, well, where the library, Dean Library is today. But they literally took that church and moved it down the street back in 1872 with the steeple and everything, because they didn't have telephone wires back then, so you didn't have to worry about that. I'm not sure why Chilson put this footage in here. I'm not sure if that's, yeah, I guess so. But I'm trying to think of which building that might be. Maybe it was the on Winter Street, maybe? Yeah. I think it's Winter Street, where Clark Cutler had a thing. But anyways. Yeah.
Without power tools, how did it?
Yeah, I know it. That's definitely School Street right there, because you can see you go down and it was a building you had to turn left. Yeah, that's probably looking the other way. Yeah. Guys with neckties on. You think so? Yeah. Yeah. There was one story down in Rhode Island where somebody was in a cottage next to the bay, the family. The cottage started floating across the bay and then beached on the other side of the bay, and the people came out of the house. It's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a story. Yes, down in Connecticut. She feared on that one. I read that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think she was in waist high water or something. She had to get out or whatever. Yeah, you're right. Yep. There's lots of stories about that. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Oh, I know what this is. This is up on 140. John Payne had a horse farm up there. This is where Magnolia Heights is today. Yeah, you watch. There's John Payne right there. And then that's where Magnolia Heights is today. Yep. They used to have a corral there. The horses would ride around there. See, it is. That's exactly where Magnolia Heights is. Yep. Oh, I don't know. I thought there was on Lincoln Street, but I don't know about Main Street or East Central. Oh, Elm Street? Oh, Elm Street. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's the Indian Rock Farm. That's where the racetrack was. Yeah. In the 40s they did. Actually, in 35, yeah. I'll show you some films after. I'll probably have a little extra time. I'll show you some films of the racetrack. You're gonna love that.
Didn't they race what cars?
They did too. Yep, yep. Little miniature cars. Yeah. Now, okay, that's that. I think that's East Central Street, and I think that might be the Shangraf family had a chicken farm right on 140, right across from where Lola's Dairy was. Yeah, exactly, right. I bet you that was what that was. Yeah, so you can see cars going by. Yeah, and there, see, and you can see if you can see the chickens were running around. See? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
But there was no real flooding there.
Not really, no. The storm happened so quick, it's like, yeah, lakes didn't have a chance to fill up.
Was they having rain?
I'd like to think so, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know. No, I think this is the Nason Street School because it was built with two buildings and it was connected in the middle. I think that's the rear of the Nason Street School, I think, which was kind of close by, so. Well, what a mess, huh?
Definition of hurricane, heavy rain.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I'm sure there was, but it was, the storm didn't last too long, so it wasn't like it would be, you know. Of course, at those speeds, the rain probably didn't fall. It wasn't going like this. Ah, Dean Avenue trees, the morning after. Now, this is just the morning after, but watch all the men and women out there cleaning up. Now, there's the Thompson Press chimney right there, so you can see he's pretty close to the end of Dean Avenue where it meets Hillside Road. And that's looking towards town.
So that would be the football field, that play field.
On Dean Avenue? No. No, not Dean Avenue, no. No. You can see the Thompson Press building there. And there's that house again.
It's flat.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Eat that chainsaw the next time I find it.
Oh, yeah. You got that right. Look at the guy way up there chopping it down. Wow.
These are probably all just citizens.
Oh, yeah, everybody just got out there to, yeah. Yeah. No. 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 Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah. That's the Genoa house right there. Yeah.
How many people in Franklin back then? 8,000, 7,000 people in?
Yeah, it's probably about right, yeah. Yeah, it was a small town. Yep. Yep, wearing a skirt. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, everybody get out to help. It was all hands evolution. And then that was the Horace Mann Elementary School on on West Central Street. A little bit of damage there. I'm sorry, Davis Thayer School. I meant, yeah, Davis Thayer, not Horace Mann. Davis Thayer, right. Yeah. That's right. Until 1962. Yeah.
Somebody told me that the store.
It was for a time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a town hall. Yeah. Yeah. Sarah Metcalf School on Winter Street. Yeah. I think we're back on Dean Avenue, I think. Oh, the country club, Franklin Country Club. No golf that day. Yep. Okay.
Maybe it was school.
Yeah. Now watch this. You're gonna love this. A gas shovel. Yeah. Now they were able to get the tree, but now they got to get that stump out of there. So watch this. Look at this. I would love to know if the people that own this house knew that this was knew about this. That'd be kind of neat to let them know. Yeah.
Need a little dynamite.
Yep. Then they get figure, well, let's get the sidewalks out of there, so they pull them out of there.
Rainy, all right?
Huh. Oh yeah, right. No, he put sidewalks in. He didn't take them out. Ah, yeah.
Retrospect, you leave the stuff there.
Yeah, right. So now we're gonna try to pull the thing out. Wow. Yeah. It wants to go too. It's just. I know it. Yeah. Oh, almost. Come on. Well, I don't know what this is. Mixed in with the footage, so I don't know where it is. I don't know why it was there, but there it is.
You had that in something, I remember that wall, you had that in, that's in another picture.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Or maybe a textile mill or something? Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And maybe this is part of that. Huh. Yeah. No, don't know. Yeah, I look at this and I think, gee, I know where that street is, and I just, yeah.
Were there fatalities?
Hmm?
Were there fatalities?
In Franklin, I don't know. I really don't. It's hard to say, really. Fire department. Huh. Yeah. Huh.
Is that stone, is that the roots? That's the stone.
We'll try and straighten out that tree.
You still had
Huh.
dirt on the boots.
Yeah.
See,
I don't know. Well, we must have had a problem with
crane and something on that shovel.
the steam shovel. Yeah. There was a truck that went across the bridge in downtown Franklin. There was a dump truck like that with a steam shovel like that. The truck made it over, but the trailer didn't, and it crashed down into the tracks down below, right downtown Franklin, 1937, July, and there's pictures of that. Yeah. Yeah. Watch this, the Common. I think this is High Street right here, and then there's the Common. You look real carefully, you can see the bandstand in there, if you can make it out. And that's Union Street, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a flagpole, right. So, yeah, that's, yeah. but it's the common, that's for sure.
And the church and that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Come back to that again. Dean, that's Dean, yeah. Yeah, that,
Back in 70 years ago, those guys came down, and that was a slate.
yeah, yes.
From Vermont came down here, and they re-slated the whole
Wow,
thing up there. Yeah.
really? Yeah, because it looks really good.
I remember the Carillon, the music.
Yeah, yeah. 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 Oh, you're gonna love this. Watch this guy, how creative he was. That's pretty cool, huh? Oh, yeah. It worked, eh? No, no. Yeah, right. Yep. Good job.
I just swept that.
You know, yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to put the trees back up. Yeah. They probably tried and hoped they rerouted, but probably not. Yeah. There's the Universalist Church. They tore that down in '67 to make way for the library.
Dean Library.
Dean Library, yeah, yeah. That's where that first Baptist church was actually built, right there. Yeah, yeah. I think that's Hillside Road. That house looks familiar. Look at this guy. Yeah, dressed for the occasion. Huh. No, jeez. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think that's Hillside Road.
It's Grace Buchanan's house.
You think so? Okay, yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. It makes sense because Stanley would be right there because his sister lived there, yeah. I think that's Dean Avenue again. Huh. I know it. I think one of the first pictures that Stanley Chilson took when he started taking pictures was the Morse Opera House fire in 1928. Because I haven't really seen anything before then. Because he was born in 1891, so let's see, 1901. He was about 20 years old when he really, 25 years old when he really started taking pictures and things. And then in 1935, he really started to take a lot of movies and everything. And especially fires. He was like a fire photographer.
Was he a journalist? Or?
Well, I'm sure a lot of his pictures were used for journalism, but he took a lot of pictures of military men too. And the way he cataloged everything, every picture on the back had a little stamp, you know, a serial number, A2134, the date. If he took pictures of things, he even put down the weather report, the weather conditions, like cloudy that day, you know, misty. Camera setting was, my f-stop was such and such, the time. If it was firefighters, there's fireman Cody, there's fireman, unbelievable. And I wondered who developed all these films for him and the cost of all this film and all these pictures.
Did he do it?
Maybe he had a dark room.
He must have had a dark room. That's all I can think. Because this is Washington Street, by the way. That was Green's Pond back there. Probably that's George Green right there. Green's Pond, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd like to think he was. His father was Austin Chilson. He ran a market downtown. And so, I don't know, Stanley Chilson went to school, I think it was Worcester Polytech. And a lot of his draft, in 1918, he had a draft notice. And he put down he was a draftsman. So he was kind of into engineering, I think. But yeah, that's Green's Pond right there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, but and he was really a train buff too. I mean, anybody that's seen some of my presentations on trains, if there was a special train coming through or whatever, he was there. I mean, he would really love trains. You can tell. Yeah. Yeah, Edward Land, right? Yeah, yeah. But he was remarkable, the history that he's provided for the town. You know, I just marvel at it. You know, yeah. All right, let's see if we can guess see if we can guess where this is. There's a building that will give you a clue. Well, not this picture here, but. See how sharp some of you guys are here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah.
Stanley would be very happy to know we're all sitting here.
Okay, where is that? East Street. East Street. Looking up toward West Street. Right? That's East Street. Guarantee it. Because that's Jimmy Hovey. I graduated with Jimmy Hovey, and he lived in that house right there. Yeah. Right by the railroad tracks. Yeah. Oh, look at that stump out okay.
Didn't show you how.
Yeah. I know it, yeah. Yeah, I know it, yeah. I'm telling you, people dressed up back in those days. Okay, now, in a minute, you're going to see a building over there on the right. It might look familiar.
Oh, it's over here. It's
Where? Carriage House by the convent. That's Queen Street right there. Yep, Pleasant Street. Yep. There you go. Exactly. Yep.
used to be where the Italian festival was.
That's the St. Rocco Festival. Yep. When we were kids, we went to St. Mary's School. We used to go in there and spin around on the turntable. Boy, did we get heck for that. Huh?
Carriage house is gonna be torn.
It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. I think they wanted to tear it down, but yeah.
They have a request for the council. They have a
Oh, is that what it is? Ah, okay. It'd be a shame, but you know, you can't keep everything, but it'd be a shame to tear it down, yeah. I know, they could do something with it. Is that the Parmenter farm, anybody know, or is that the McCahill farm? I would say it's a chicken farm. You think it's Parmenter? I don't know. You don't think it is? No, no. Parmenter though, you think?
Looks like ponds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right, yeah. Yep. Hmm.
over several days or weeks.
Well, certainly the first few days after the storm, he was out there, and a lot of this is probably within the week, I would think. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, he was a busy guy, and like I said, where do you think that is? He knows. That's where Sherman Chevrolet got its start. That's Cottage Street. Today, what's the last name? Kevin Carlo's got a place right there. Yeah, that's where Boyerton Casket Company used to be. But that's where Sherman Chevrolet started until the 50s, and they moved down to East Central Street. But that building's still there. I think that's the town pool.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.